So the last.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our regularly scheduled commission meeting, April 23rd, 2025. The time is now 7:04. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Irvin,
Here.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Present.
Mayor Taylor.
Here. As we stand for our invocation, led by Vice Mayor.
Eternal God, Father, we thank you for all of many blessings. We thank you for this day. We thank you, God, for the great city of Opa-locka. Continue to give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Do those things that you're pleasing in your sight. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Madam Clerk, do we have any awards, proclamations, or acknowledgements at this time?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we're going into the approval of the consent agenda. Do we have any pulls, deferrals, or deletions at this time? No pulls. Okay. So I'll pull that item under consent. 13-1. All right, can we go to the approval of the well, there is no consent agenda. The approval of tonight's agenda,
Move it.
moved by Vice Mayor Kelly,
Second.
second by Commissioner Irvin. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right, we're going into the approval of minutes. The regular commission meeting minutes, March 26, 2025. Can I have a move by Vice Mayor?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Irvin. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right, our workshop meeting minutes, April 3rd, 2025. Can I get a motion? Motion moved by Vice Mayor Kelly,
Second.
second by Commissioner Irvin. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right, sunshine meeting minutes, April 8th, 2025.
Move it.
Motion was made by Vice Mayor Kelly, second by Commissioner Irvin. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right, moving. The last one is the regular commission meeting minutes on April 9th, 2025. Can I get a motion? Moved by Vice Mayor Kelly,
Second.
second by Commissioner Irvin. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Moving on to our District 1, District 2 reports. Do we have any, Madam Clerk?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Any public presentations?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we're going into our citizens forum. Can you please state for the record how to participate in citizen forum?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. City of Opa-locka Commission meetings are held in person at the Opa-locka Government Center, City Commission Chambers, 780 Fisherman Street, 3rd floor, Opa-locka, Florida. Members of the public wishing to address the commission may do so in person or virtually. Those persons wishing to participate virtually should register prior to the scheduled meeting time on the city's website at www.opalockafl.gov. When speaking before the commission, please make sure to give your full name and address for the record. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. Please adhere to the decorum policy, which is a part of the commission meeting agenda. City commission meetings are aired through live stream at www.youtube.com/user/City of Opa-locka. And Mr. Mayor, at this time, we do not have any virtual public comments.
All right, so we're gonna open up the citizens forum for those of you that are in the chamber. Citizens forum is open.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, Brian Dennis, address 2140 York Street. What I'm about to say does not affect the new interim city manager. The chief need to be fired. He got to go. And what's happening here is we still seeing the remnants of the old city manager still being here. Did y'all know that y'all almost had an incident in the police department like with steel between two female officers? Now, and it is funny how the chief works here, but he's reporting to the interim city manager wherever he is, discrediting the interim city manager. And that's not fair when that's his boss. So now what makes you report to a person that tried to tear down the city? And here's why I'm saying he needs to be fired, because the old city manager brought him in here. If you're concerned about him suing the city, we can go back and get the tapes, how many times he don't stood in the front of the commission and lied. He can't sue nobody. But the morale in that police department is out of control, meaning it's down. If I had a vote, and I know this got to go out for bid, you would know. The city quiet. The city ain't been this quiet since David Shiverton. Every manager since Shiverton had the city in the uproar. It is quiet. You can sleep. But what's going on in the police department and how they got that little teamwork going, because everybody that's got something to do with this is still tied to the former city manager. And that's not fair to the interim city manager, who's in the blind to a lot of this stuff. If that situation with Officer Steele and the officer that happened with a taser, we can't forget that they still strapped. So now we still got people here that knew that the former city manager opened up bank accounts and finance. Where they at? They still here? I don't think it's fair that that chief is still here with all this foolishness going on. And even when the interim city manager came in and the chief left, Chief Starks was still in code enforcement. The city quiet. Let's keep it that way. Great job, interim manager.
Citizens Forum is still open. Citizens Forum is closed. All right, Madam Manager. No, I'm sorry, Madam Attorney. 13-1.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, prohibiting the rehiring of former city manager Darvin E. Williams, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Commissioner Irvin.
All right. Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead and present. I'm sorry.
Yes, I bought this resolution this week because when I hear of things that we thought was being done that wasn't being done, and things that were being done that we had no idea about, especially when it comes to the opening of the bank accounts, and just something as recent as last commission meeting with the property and I just feel like that there was some kind of deceit going on there, and who was going to be the financial gain of all of this stuff happening. And we're not going to be sitting on this dais always. And I just don't want for another commissioner, be it 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, another commission wind up being put in the same situation we were, where we have somebody that gives a good front, but the back is not exactly what it seems to be. And then the city is in a horrible place years later, when we could have prevented this from happening by saying we don't want him in our city as what we can control, be it a manager going forward. Again, it's not personal. It's just, I feel like had we not got rid of him when we did, we were gonna find ourselves in some, well, not us, we would have been the problem of some missing funds down the line, or some other stuff going on that was not like what we want to present our city to be presented with. And there's been rumors, I have heard rumors that he was coming back, and as far as even who he's going to fire when he get back and stuff like that, we can alleviate all of that by you know, you came here, you started out well, you ended out horrible. Let's just let you stay where you are and continue to move our city forward without having to worry about him coming back and working in our city later in life. I'll answer any questions.
All right. Any questions for the sponsor of this item? Vice Mayor?
I guess to the attorney, really, Madam Attorney. I've not really seen this too often, although I'm told that it does exist. What is your legal thoughts on this?
This is a commission decision.
Can't hear you.
It's a commission decision.
It's a commission decision.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
If I may say, Vice Mayor, the idea of this actually came to me when I was trying to have conversation about a previous employee, and I was told that they were not rehireable because Mr. Williams had them on the do not rehire status.
Well, I'm not referencing former employees. I just want to know from the attorney. She says it's really a commission decision, which means you've given it your legal sufficiency.
Yes, you all are the persons who determine hiring and firing of the charter officers. And those are the folks that you control. Obviously, you control contractual issues that have to be passed by the commission first. So those are the things that you all control. So if you choose that this is something you want to do, you are certainly within your legal parameters to do so. Another commission could decide they want to do something different, but you all could certainly put forth a resolution stating that this is what you intend to do and this is your intent.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Madam Attorney, I just think this is borderline one. If we hired him as a charter officer, but if we pass this, let's just say if it does pass, then the manager we cannot tell the manager who to hire in other departments, right? It's just, to me, it's just
In another
great,
department,
very,
no, but
very-
this that's why it's written narrowly for the as Commissioner Irvin said, for the offices that you control. So for a manager, city manager, interim city manager, for contractual issues. So it's written narrowly tailored for those things that you all as a commission would control.
Any other concerns for this item? All right. We can go ahead and call the question.
Sorry, Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
No.
Motion passes 2-1.
All right, moving on to 16A1.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, adopting and enacting a new code for the City of Opa-locka, Florida, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, providing a penalty for the violation thereof, providing for the manner of amending such code, and providing when such code and this ordinance shall become effective, deferred from the April 9th, 2025 regular commission meeting. This is sponsored by the city clerk.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this ordinance is first reading. It was deferred from a previous meeting at the request of, I guess the commission and also the city attorney, requesting additional time for review. This is for the recodification of the City of Opa-locka code, as I previously explained to you all, and I'm not sure if you guys have any further questions at this time with regards to this item.
All right, can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Vice Mayor,
Second.
second by Commissioner Irvin. This is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. All right, any questions to the manager on this item?
The
I mean,
clerk.
sorry, to the clerk on this item. Could you present all the items? Hearing none, we can go ahead and call the question.
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right, moving on to item number 16A2.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, amending Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 2-28 of the city's Code of Ordinances entitled Date, Time for Regular Meetings to amend the start time for regular City Commission meetings to 6 p.m. rather than 7 p.m., providing for adoption of representations, providing for a conflict and repealer, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for scrivener's errors, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Mayor Taylor.
All right, I'll go ahead and present and I entertain a motion. So simply put, is to change the time of our meetings from 7 o'clock to actually 6 o'clock. As we can see, a lot of residents don't really participate in our meetings. The only people that it really affects is our staff, and they're here since 5 o'clock. So that 2-hour buffer to me is just a lot. And it still allows for our residents to participate. We have, if they want to do virtual, through our city clerk for virtual comments, or they can do write-in letters, but they still have the opportunity to participate. So it doesn't stop the flow at all, but it just allows us to do business earlier. And we're not gonna go in early to stay out late.
Correct.
But it allows us to get in and get out. So I entertain a motion at this moment.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Irvin. All right, so at this point, I will relinquish the gavel to second the motion. And I relinquish it to Vice Mayor Kelly.
It's been moved by Commissioner Irvin, second by the mayor. We're in the discussion. We don't have a lot of folks come to meetings unless there's an issue they want to discuss. But I also know a lot of times we have shade meetings or things that come up that we normally do prior to a commission meeting because it's on that same date. And so now I'm concerned with that happening. You're either going to have to do a shade meeting, a different date, or something come up workshop that we want to try to capture in the same time frame, or you're going to be trying to push it up earlier, knowing that some of us are working or have other things to do, and which means if you're having a workshop or the like, the public will still be impacted because now it's an earlier time for that. I understand in some regards the wanting to push it up so we're not here too late, but I do have reservation that even residents can get here at 6 if they worked. I'm not talking about those who are retired, but I'm talking about those who are working, get off from work most times at 5, in traffic, get home or come straight here for 6. We're starting at 6, so public presentations or public forum is already probably passed by the time they get here at 6:15. So I don't know if that's a good thing to do. I know we don't want to stay in too late. I don't have a problem with that. I am somewhat sympathetic to the fact that staff has to be here, a buffer, you call it a buffer, 2 hours, but staff also, most of the folks here don't punch a clock. So, they're here late or early. They can come in later the next day if need be. I can understand to a degree, but I think on the resident side or business owner side, starting at 6 really creates a conflict, but not a conflict, but a challenge to get here at 6 o'clock and to get heard, considering that we normally do our public presentations or hear from the public early on in the meeting. So that's really my concern with the legislation. I know not a lot, some cities do have it early, some even have it in the middle of the day, some have it at 7 like we do. But I'm concerned about the public actually having an opportunity to be heard if they're not here at 6:05 or 6:07 because they're coming from work or even get stuck downstairs trying to find somewhere to park to get up here, especially coming from work. And so that's why I have the concern about 6 p.m. I know we want to get out. I know we don't want to be in there all night long, et cetera. But that's really my concern about that legislation. And then to our colleagues who work, because sometimes it's a challenge for them to get here at 6 o'clock for workshops or special meetings. And so that's the concerns I have when you put it at 6 p.m. to start, that the public really will have an opportunity to be here to be heard. But I understand the legislation is put on the table, so I just want to put my concerns on there. Any other concerns or thoughts?
Vice Mayor?
Mayor Taylor?
All right, so to address some of the concerns, shade meetings we usually have early, but I know for the last couple of weeks we've had sunshine meetings that have started in the middle of the day. Some residents have attended, some haven't. Also, and those have been at 3, at 2, at 12, but they have been properly noticed and ample time for people to get here if they so choose. Also, when it comes down to public comments, there are 3 ways for every resident to participate under Citizens Forum, and that's via letter to the clerk, via virtually, or in person. So it doesn't stop any resident from having their voice heard. And I understand what you said about the urgency that people are getting off work and things of that nature. But changing the time, we do it second and fourth Wednesday. So planning ahead, I think the residents, what we've seen, that when residents want to do something, they do it. Hot items, this place is jam-packed. And it doesn't matter what time we start. Special meetings, we start at 6, 5 o'clock, and this place is packed to speak on those hot items. But our regular commission meetings, no one is really here. So this just allows us to start earlier, conduct business, and get out earlier. That's all that this is.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to clarify, I wasn't referring to sunshine. I was referring to shade, where the attorney calls those, because she's trying to catch us when we're all here. I wasn't referring to sunshine. I know those we've had in the daytime. I'm really referring to shade meetings, which usually occur for the most part before a commission meeting, not sunshine meetings. But I appreciate your answer. Any other discussion? If not, we can call for the vote.
You got to open up for public here.
Oh, okay. Public hearing is open on this item. Public hearing is open. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. No other discussion. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
No.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes first reading 2-1.
Gavel going back to the mayor. Thank you.
All right, moving on to 16B1.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, approving the selection of Leasing 2, Inc. to finance the acquisition of the city's new street sweeper with a 3-year capital lease, an interest rate of 5.89%, and 3 annual payments of $104,490.44. Providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. First reading public hearing was held on March 26, 2025. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
All right, this is a public hearing item, but we'll let the manager go ahead and present, and then we'll open up for public hearing.
Staff have recommended the acquisition of a new street sweeper due to the excessive malfunction of the current equipment. 3 quotes were obtained to analyze financing options. Leasing 2 Inc. offers the best leasing proposal. If approved, payments will commence in October 2025. And Mr. Anathan is available should you have any questions.
I do apologize. Can I have a motion for this item?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Irvin. Second by Vice Mayor Kelly. This is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. Any questions to Mr. Anathan or to the manager at this time? Hearing none, we can call the question, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right, moving on to item 16B2.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, adopting a complete streets policy to create a safe, accessible, and multimodal transportation network for all users, providing for implementation measures, responsibilities, and design standards, providing for incorporation into the code, providing for conflict and repealer, severability, and an effective date. First reading, public hearing was held on March 26, 2025. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
All right, this is a public hearing item. Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by
Mm-hmm.
Commissioner Irvin. Can I get a second? I know, I just said.
Make up your mind which way you going now. I'll second it.
Madam Manager, go ahead and present.
The Complete Streets policy will establish a commitment to design, build, and maintain roadways that accommodate all modes and uses of transportation. It also broadens the city's mobility goals. The policy has been created and is being presented for second reading and adoption. Ms. Gross is also available should you have any questions.
All right, this is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. All right, any questions for Ms. Gant or the manager?
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Gross?
I just have one question really to the manager or to her designee. Once we adopt this policy, what would it take to change anything within the policy? Would it require legislation or just managerial directive, or since we're doing this by ordinance to create this policy?
You gonna speak on it? You want me to
I
speak?
don't think she can.
I believe it's gonna have to come back to the commission since it's
Yeah.
policy.
Okay. So we'll have to come back, we'll have to come back to the commission?
Yes.
Okay, that answers the question. All right, thank you.
All right. If no other concerns, we can go ahead and call the question.
Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes,
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right, moving on to 16B3.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, adopting the Safe Streets for All Comprehensive Safety Action Plan to enhance transportation safety, improve infrastructure, and promote equitable mobility throughout the city in conformity with Section 163.3177 Florida statutes, providing for incorporation into the code, providing for a conflict and repealer, severability, and an effective date. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
All right, I'll allow the manager to present and then I'll entertain the motion. Go ahead, Madam Manager.
With the assistance of Vision Zero, the city has developed the Safe Streets for All Comprehensive Safety Action Plan, which highlights transportation safety challenges and countermeasures to reduce traffic fatalities and serious injuries. This item is now being presented for second reading and adoption, and Ms. Gross is here should you have any questions.
All right, this is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is closed. All right, any questions for Ms. Gross or the manager at this moment? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, call the question.
I need a motion in a second.
It was,
move it.
Second.
thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Irvin,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Kelly,
Yes,
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 3-0.
Commissioner Kelly had got me thrown off up there. I gotta blame somebody.
why not? I could take it.
Yeah, we're moving on to our city manager's report. Madam Manager, you have the floor.
I did submit a written report to the City Commission on yesterday. However, I would like to add that the internal accounting team, CFLG, has been working both on-site and virtually since late March 2025. Together with city staff, we are making progress with all items required for the production of the financial statements for fiscal year 24. We have provided Markham all of the planning items on time as required. Currently, we are in the field work phase. We are developing schedules and reconciliations needed for Markham to review. We anticipate delivering those items on time as we did in the planning phase. We have been in communication with Markham and we're all working towards issuing a timely audit. I'll take any questions you may have at this time.
All right, any questions for the city manager at this moment? I was just about to say, great
Great
job,
job.
Madam Manager.
Great job.
And for the record, it's due June, right? So the external auditor will have it
June, we'll have it to
To
be
the s-
submitted
to the state by June.
June. Yes.
Okay. And it's late, is there an actual date or is just June 30th? Okay, I heard you. Thank you. All right, any other questions? Madam Manager, great job. And I just want to say for the record, this will be our first on-time audit. Yeah. Good job, Madam Manager. We're almost there, almost there. All right, but since we're in that same vein, but I didn't put it under my report, but I asked it, and I saw that you mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. How far are we from curing the remaining 99 findings?
Miss Ashley Walker and I are working, a lot of those items are policy driven.
Mhm.
So we are working with the departments on trying to get those items presented to the city commission within the next, by the second meeting in May, to try to get most of those, findings cured.
Okay. Is
I
that
can
some,
give a written update, this week on where we
Okay.
are.
is that something that we can do in the interim before we submit? That way we're done.
No, it's submission to the commission.
Okay, that's it.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to secure it as soon as
Yes.
possible. All right, any other questions to the manager? All right. Hearing none, moving on to our official board reports. We have none. Our mayor and commission reports. I yield to Vice Mayor Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you see under my report, I want to start off with the CERT program initiative, which CERT, as a part of Meet Me Monday and also Miami-Dade Emergency Management, along with FPNL, was at Meet Me Monday. And one of the programs that they still do after many years, which I was surprised, is the CERT program, which is a program that will train staff, citizens, anyone, on how to assist in case of a natural disaster. They are willing to come here on site. We've been in touch with the representative who presented, and they are definitely amenable to coming and holding the classes here in the city. So I wanted to bring that to the commission and get any thoughts you have on it, whether we wanted to allow, just put it out in a flyer and see who responds, or we wanted to have certain, the manager had any certain staff to attend. I know some of the directors have probably attended some of these kinds of trainings, but I don't know if all of them have. But it is something I think would be beneficial for our community and our residents in the event of a natural disaster, because they train them on how to assist in various phases of things that are going on as a result of a natural disaster. So I wanted to bring that to the commission. If you have any thoughts on it, if not, we're going to proceed in working with the manager to come up with some dates and get back with them to kind of finalize the program so we can initiate it here in the city of Opa-locka.
Vice Mayor?
Mhm.
Okay, so I was happy when I saw this item. A couple of weeks ago, myself, the manager, and our planning department went down to the actual center to tour. And this is one of the programs, this plus some other programs that they wanted to bring to the city of Opa-locka. So I am all for the initiative. And I think that when we talked about it, we talked about having two separate programs, one
Yes.
specific to the residents and one for staff as it relates to emergency response. So that was the only change I would ask you.
Well, I don't have a problem with two separate classes, but I do know sometimes it's also good to have staff interacting with citizens, because in the case of a natural disaster, they're going to be kind of working hand in hand. There's some things from a governmental side staff knows, but residents know Miss Susie, Mr. Bill, Miss whoever that has challenges or might need some attention that staff has to go locate and find out that they may be aware of. I don't have a problem with supporting, separating them out with a city staff class and a citizen class. That's not a problem. So we want to do it that way. That's fine. I've seen it done both ways. Years ago when I was an employee, it was done with staff, and I also saw one did with residents and staff. So I know it can work both ways. So if the manager has enough folks, because I know they'd like you to have a certain number to bring it to you as opposed to going down there. So if the manager has enough, we can put it out for citizens to sign up for it, because we do want folks who are committed to it. And we want to try to get that training done because we know we're right on the heels of hurricane season. But the good part about this, as you probably found out, is not just limited to hurricane season. It's any disaster.
Any
So I
disaster.
think it's good. So we could work towards that in a staff class, a residence class, or, however it works out. I have no problem with it, with either way.
And the only other thing, and I'm sorry, Vice Mayor, is let's try to couple it with the CPR class that we were going to do with them as well. So they were willing to do both. And I don't remember the third class, but I know it was CPR cert and something else.
Yes, it's CPR, first aid usually. It depends on how extensive we want to be and how much time we're going to put in it. But usually it's the cert and CPR for sure. You can include first aid.
I think that's already included in the
Well, I'm
CPR.
just saying that's
Okay.
for the residents,
Okay.
especially to get certified in that. But we can look at all phases of it. I guess the question is to make sure we have enough people so we can do both classes. But I would still suggest some layover, even of those who may have attended, so they could be aware and the citizens could be aware, or business owners for that matter, of the staff who would be involved in case there's a natural disaster. So they'll already be, on the same page. So we'll work on that. And the manager, I'm quite sure, will give update as we go forward, putting it together and meeting with them. And then if there's anything else we need to add, we can certainly do that. Obviously, it's free. It's no cost to us except for the space, obviously,
Right.
and probably having to provide maybe some light refreshments or something, but that's a minimal cost.
If you're
So
gonna have me
that-
going to school, I need more than just light refreshment.
Pardon me?
If you have me taking a class, I need more than just light refreshment.
As long as you don't break that sternum when you're trying to do. Commissioner Irvin, take care of refreshments. But that's good. Okay, so we'll follow up on that. The next thing, unfunded state mandates, and I put that in my report because, as all of us are aware, we're seeing a lot of things coming from Tallahassee that are requiring us to do or wanting us to do, but not necessarily are funded in any manner. Just kind of telling us what to do, and inclusive of this new. And we all got, I think, the email that the governor set up now for this agency to review all of everything, policies and everything. So I put that under there because I wanted the manager to make sure as these mandates come down, if there are costs attached to them, even though we have to do them, that we're aware of it since we're especially coming up to the budget process. So that's why I wanted to bring it up in my report. The other thing I wanted to get an update is the citywide park master plan. I know we've spent quite a few dollars, or at least budgeted a few dollars. How much money have we actually spent, Madam Manager? Because we still haven't got a park master plan for the whole city. And I know we're doing some things, playgrounds. I saw it in your report that we've passed, upgrades that, for basketball courts, but we haven't got the park master plan that deals with all of our parks and all of our green spaces. And so I want to know what that looks like before we go any further doing anything else to any of our parks. So do we have you have any update? If not, you can get it to us later.
I do.
Okay.
We've spent $150,000. The draft plan that was presented was not good. We had major problems with it. Staff has met with the company on several occasions. The latest meeting was actually held today. Ms. Ashley Walker, the Parks Director, the CIP manager, they've had meetings with them. The plan has errors. It talks about other cities in it, things that doesn't have anything to do with Opa-locka. We voiced our concerns. We've given them all of our concerns to make edits to it. They'll have a follow-up meeting on next week, Tuesday. In that meeting, we'll have multiple department directors because a lot of our directors should have been engaged in that plan and they were not. So we're working with the company. It needs a lot of improvement.
Okay. But to this date, we've expended $150,000.
Yes.
Madam Attorney, and could you, via the manager, take a look at that agreement? I want to see it again myself because I don't remember all the fine points, but I know it had some deliverables, some time frames, some expectancies, and I want to follow that timeline because we really can't do anything with our park green spaces all over the city. We spent that kind of money on a master plan for the entire city. And I'm assuming it also is going to make some recommendations about some green spaces that we had not identified or the commission has previously talked about possibly seeing. So I'd like to, yeah, I'd like to see what that looks like because we're over. I mean, I've been back here 2 years now, and they've been working on this for a while, too long. So I want to find out what the challenges are because I get asked by residents all the time because we did the surveys, we had them at some of our meetings and whatever. And to hear at this point, we don't have anywhere near a finished product. We can't move forward on any of our really big plans for parks until that occurs. Because all of that encompasses not just our 3 parks, but also all of our green spaces, Kaboom and everything else. So I would ask that you would give it to managers, Madam Attorney, look at that agreement. Madam Manager, I will definitely be meeting with you on that because I'm not happy to see that we're not farther along than we are to see where the breakdowns are. Okay, so until then, I'll just reserve my other comments on park program until I see what that looks like. The last thing I had under that I had written here was city staffing. Are we sufficiently, well, not sufficiently, are most of our positions filled, or do we have a lot of vacancies still? I know we've been doing, I guess, recruiting. I know we've been to the outreach and had the table there. Where are we at on staffing?
We have been actively recruiting. We do have vacancies still. Do we have a lot? No, we don't have a lot anymore because a lot of the positions have been filled and we're still filling them. Police and Public Works are the 2 departments that we have a lot of vacancies, but just today we did onboarding for multiple departments. So we are onboarding new employees.
And when employees are leaving, are we doing exit interviews to
Yes.
find out?
Yes, we are.
Okay. And I'm saying that because we have not still received that updated pay plan
Correct.
in order to see where we are in terms of if there needs to be any adjustments made to a pay plan within our salary structure. And of course, because we're going into the budget process, it'd be a good time to look at that.
May.
So I don't know where we are on that pay plan, because I know that was a major challenge before through HR. So do we have any updates on that, where we are on that?
Ms. Adams will give an update.
Thank you, Madam Manager. To the dais, we do have a pay plan that will be a part of what I'm submitting with the other human resources documents. And it is an updated and what we consider through research, a competitive range. We will actually have a salary range for every job instead of just some starting wage number.
Do we have an anticipated time for it to be presented to the city commission?
I've just submitted this evening by working with the city attorney to put this information on the 2nd week of May agenda for first reading.
Okay, so we should have something on that somewhere towards the end of May in
Yes,
terms
sir.
of that, because one of the things we hear sometimes is people leave because of, salary or we don't pay enough, whatever. I don't necessarily believe that's always the case. And that's why I'm always curious about exit interviews, what
Yes,
people are
sir.
saying when they
I think it would
leave.
be probably about 30%, but it also depends on the department. And some departments have not been as competitive. They've actually been stagnant. because we've not looked at the total department. We looked at historically, like one job opening. And so that's why we need a pay plan, and we will have one.
Okay. I'm mentioning that because again, we're coming up on the budget
Yes.
process, and I know we can't cure everything overnight, but we
No.
need to do the best we can with the
Yes.
parameters that we have. And if the commission has that information available, then it would be helpful as we're navigating this budget process. And as a part, Madam Manager, somewhere in that document, those exit interviews and what they're revealing as to why people may not be staying and leaving, so forth. So I'm grateful to hear that that's coming down the pipe. And you said most of the other positions are being full. You still have a few that, but most of them
Yes.
have been filled.
HR went on today and started removing some of the ones that were filled. So there are some that hasn't been filled, but for the most part, they are recruiting. I
And the
think they
ones
did
that are
about
still
10
available
today.
are online. You can
Yes,
access it online to see.
yes, it's online.
Okay. All right. That takes care of that one. I would look forward to that. I had that under my report. Of course, I have other things, but I always put those because I know if you put those, they get traction.
Thank you.
I'm just being honest. They get
It's
traction.
true though. Wait, before you move on to the last part of your report, Vice Mayor, if you don't mind me to chime in on the staffing, Madam Manager, and I asked this before. The police department, you spoke about the police department having a lot of vacancies as well as the code enforcement. A couple years
Public
ago,
Works.
Public Works, thank you. Public Works. We did legislation a couple years ago to sponsor police officers to go into the academy so that we can create a program. So where are we with that?
It's in our budget. And Ms. Adams, go ahead.
So we're actually working with two academies, the Miami-Dade Academy and the one near, it's about 2 hours away. So there are two academies we're working with, but the other one is so far away that it's probably not going to be as beneficial to have someone come to our city, but
No,
we-
not that they come to us. How these programs work with other cities is that the city will hire non-certified officers, put them through the academy, pay for it, and in return, they have to work for the city for 3 to 5 years.
oh, yes.
And
I do
then
remember
that's
that.
what I wanted Opa-locka to do, to start that. It's not a far-fetched
Remember, we
idea.
have a grant as well. Remember there?
Yeah, but that grant was said that they were going to use that, which I had an issue with for salaries.
Yes.
That was
For
what was
two.
told to the
That's
commission.
two,
For two.
yes.
And I was like, I
Police
thought we were going to use that for education. So I'm a little,
The grant was
Well,
for
the grant is
two
specific.
bodies.
Yeah.
But what you're speaking of, the academy, it is in the budget. I did speak to Chief Otley about it recently. I can give a written update. He did tell me that they were going to start working on that, but it is fully budgeted. I also spoke to Bob, so we will work on
okay, so
that.
this is my desire. And when I sponsored it, I wanted the city of Opa-locka to hire a number of non-certified officers. We pay them whatever salary that you all decide. We put them through the academy. And in return, they have, on a contract, they have to work for Opa-locka for a certain amount of years, and then we go from there and we repeat this process over and over until we beef up our department.
Yes, that was discussed in the last budget year and it was included. So I'll get with Chief and Ms. Adams to see where they are with that. Because I did speak to the chief on it.
Okay,
You
All
get
right.
a report.
ma'am?
You will be getting a report.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, to Commissioner Kelly's, Vice Mayor Kelly's point, we have a lot of vacancies. Why can't we do a job fair and promote it?
So we do have vacancies, but we don't have a lot of vacancies for a job fair. We can
No.
do one, but there's not a lot for a job fair like we used to have.
Like we used to? Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a lot.
But then what about through social media? Just we have openings, these positions,
We can
blah, blah, blah,
definitely,
blah.
we can
Maybe do a
definitely
flyer or something.
blast it on
Okay.
social media,
And then put the
definitely,
exact position.
We'll send it to,
people to apply.
to Hip Rockstar tomorrow so they can put it out.
And you said it's in not parks. It's in
Our largest vacancies are police and public works.
public works.
Yeah.
Parks had 5 new hires this week.
Okay, congrats,
Yes.
Parks. All right. I'm sorry, Vice Mayor, you still have the floor. Public Works. I'm done.
Go ahead.
I'm done.
You want to chime in? Um,
You hit that hornet's nest.
and you know I don't mind hitting it.
You hit the hornet's nest.
You know I don't mind hitting. Okay. Thank you for the
Commissioner Irvin
information.
ready to go. She got that look, that 8
Well-
o'clock. She got that 8 o'clock look, that hard stop at 8 o'clock look. That's why she.
Well, we got 6 minutes.
Because-
I'll take 3 and you take 3. We're still under report. I wanted to just also give an update in supporting the city's Bunny Jam at Ingram Park that was hosted by the mayor. Great job. I got there late. I didn't see no real eggs, but I won't get into that. Supporting the Glow in the Dark, a pool and fun day. Commissioner Irvin, I didn't bring my bathing suit, but I was there. That you had with the Booster Club and Parks and Rec. Great idea. And we've got to figure out, I don't know how, we've got to figure out to try to do that more often without it being a special day, if you follow me. I don't know if we can do it monthly or I don't know. We need to do something like that because that has a lot of the community out. And it's just a fun time for all ages, very diverse. So we've got to figure out, and I'd be very supportive, work with you on it. I know we do it for special holidays. I know you got one coming up for Memorial Day. We got to figure out to kind of do something like that in the same vein that we do for bingo. I think it's a great thing that's occurring. We also hosted the monthly Meet Me Monday last week at the Helen Miller Center, informative with guests, as I said earlier, for Miami-Dade Emergency Management, CERT, and FP&L, getting ready for hurricane season. I know, Madam Manager, you had given us a while back the booklet, what have you, and I doubt too many things have changed, but if you could just, if it has, to just update it. I know the mayor always was talking about having something leading up to it, so I'll defer that to him and be supportive of that. Also represented along, Commissioner Bass was there as well, the manager and other staff representing the city in the mayor's absence on receiving the Dade Heritage Trust Award last Wednesday for our restoring of historic City Hall. Very nice opportunity showcasing the city. And despite what we may not understand or realize or forgotten, historic Moorish architecture is still exciting. And so we got to make sure we don't leave that out going forward. And by the way, where's that plaque at? Where's it at? Where's it hanging at?
Ms. Gross has it, but it's going to Historic City Hall.
Ms. Gross has it? Oh, I guess CIP. Okay.
She say
Okay.
I didn't even get to see
Yeah.
it. Like, I was like,
we should have brought it to the meeting.
I thought her and Mr. Gay was fighting over it. It was nice award, but yeah, so the commission maybe next, just bring it.
Yes.
It's nice to be recognized for the restoring of historic City Hall. And so that's very good as move forward. And I know you're still working on a plan of what we would eventually possibly doing in the building. So we look forward to getting that from you. Supported Earth Day yesterday with Commissioner Bass and my colleagues with the plant giveaway, very nice as well. And we also invite everyone next Thursday, 12 noon to Helen Miller Center and 6 p.m. Outside Historic City Hall lawn area for the National Day of Prayer observance. We're going to have prayers, both English, Spanish, Creole, and speakers and praying. And I'm co-hosting that, of course, with Commissioner Bass and Commissioner Santiago, and really the whole commission is a part of that. So if you can't make both of them, at least try to make one. And we invite the entire community, all of our churches. We do have a lot of churches that hopefully have committed to participate and will be there as well as we come together for the annual National Day of Prayer. I want to, Madam Manager, commend, I don't see her here, but Miss Yvette and Miss Emma from the clerk's office for trying to get that banner and thing done for it, to get it out. Madam Clerk from your office and the manager's office, thank them so much for getting it out. I'm a firm believer if we're going to do things, we got to get the message out a lot early. And I know it's been a task just trying to get a banner. And as I said to them, getting a banner, especially when it's generic, because it's something we do every year. But they did send me a draft that hopefully will get made and be able to get out before the end of the week so that we can get out in the community, let folks know that it's coming. So I want to thank them for that as well. Having said that, Mr. Mayor, that's all of my report. You can take the last 3 minutes.
Commissioner Irvin?
Thank you so much. You're just gonna leave me out there. Mr. Mayor, of course, I do apologize for not making your event, apologize for not making Meet Me Monday last week, but April 15th is a special day for me.
We know.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure
Yeah,
that,
I
We
did
figured.
show up for that.
We figured.
yes, I apologize for not making that. I was able to show my face at Bunny Jam. And for me, the most exciting part about me being on Ingram Park that day, unfortunately, wasn't so much of the Bunny Jam. I appreciated it, but it was me seeing the people on the tennis court playing tennis. That took me for a loop. I am so immediately I started saying, "Oh, we got to get these kids out here for tennis lessons." So if anybody knows tennis and they hear my voice, we need an instructor to teach our children to play tennis
And pickleball.
and and pickleball. Yes.
And we can work on that because USTA will bring instructors out once we get to that point.
Thank you.
Yes, I was really excited about that. No,
Oh,
that's why I looked directly at her.
I forgot about that. Sorry.
And I want to say thank you to all of our residents and friends that came out to our glow in the dark, well, our family day, the glow in the dark Easter egg hunt in the pool. We had right about 200 people there, more than what I expected, but praise God, we fed them all. We had enough everything for everybody, and they were excited. And like Vice Mayor said, it got the people to get out and fellowship and make friends, new friends. The Booster Club even made some new friends. Also, Miss Ray, I hope I don't mess this one up. Next commission meeting, I'm going to try to have them there, but we are the proud champions of the 8U basketball team. 8U? Yes, we're champions. That 8U brought championship home. So the basketball team. So three, three, three championships. Okay. So we're gonna have them here to show them that we appreciate them at the next commission meeting. And also Commissioner Williams told me make sure I didn't forget to announce it. So I had to make sure I didn't forget because her son is on that, her nephew's on that team. So yes. And today is Administration Day. I might mess this one up too, but I think it's Administration Day. And I want to say to all of our administrators, everybody that come here every day with a smile on their face, regardless to how they're feeling that day, to make our city run like a well-oiled sewing machine. Okay? Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. And and if you can do one more thing for me, keep Roscoe Pendleton's family in your prayers as he's going to be funeralized on Saturday. And there's another one of our friends, our residents that passed. I only know him by his first name. It's Manny. And he's been to several meetings when we were going through the RV phase. Young man, 30 years old. Yes. And he's on Sherrar. He's already been funeralized, but I think we're going to present his family with something at the next meeting. So keep his wife and 1-year-old child in your prayers as well. Just tell God, Manny over on Sherrar, he'll know who he is. Okay, I'm done. Thank you all.
Oh, I know you took me out with the Manny one. Yeah. All right. And I'll make it short and sweet. So, the pickleball thing just took me out, and I was not trying to say that, but I forgot about that. I love you though. The mayor's roundtable was great. We had all of our newly elected constitutional officers from Miami-Dade County here in the city of Opa-locka, allowing our residents to do a meet and greet and for them to tell the services that they have for our residents. So I do also thank you all for your support on that. Also, Bunny Jam, thank you all for your support on that. It was great to see Ingram Park activated the way it was. And so I was happy to see that as well, Commissioner Irvin. Also, next Saturday is Tri-Rail is having their ride and play here in Opa-locka, and it's a big thing for them and for the city of Opa-locka because Opa-locka has been named the fastest growing station in their network, the fastest growing and number one in their network. So they're coming here on that Saturday to honor the city of Opa-locka for that purpose and reason. It starts at I have no idea. It starts at
12 p.m.
12 p.m. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
No, I'm sorry.
11
It's
a.m.
11.
11 a.m.
Yes.
11 a.m. So we're asking everybody that can and will to come out so that we can support Opa-locka in that. And also, other than that, I think we are good. Commissioner Irvin already talked about it, Administrative Professional Day. So thank you all for what you do in the city of Opa-locka. And we will definitely keep Manny's family in prayer. And Manny was a good guy. And was young. And that, yeah, you shot me with that. Yeah, yeah. So with that being said, we can, are there any official board? No, we're not doing board appointments. We're waiting on you
Mr.
all.
Mayor?
Ma'am.
There is a need for appointments to the Historic Environmental Preservation Board. So if you know anyone or any member of the dais that's interested in serving, if they can please submit a board application. I believe at this time they do not have a quorum to meet. So it's a 9-member board and we have 5 vacancies on that board.
Okay, Madam Attorney, let me ask you this, because I know there was an urgency for that board to meet. Can the commission sit as that board temporarily until?
No, sir. The Miami-Dade County ordinances is very specific as to the membership of the board, which does not include the commission.
Okay, so how urgent is the appointment? So I know we were waiting on you all to bring back the recommendations from the manager and the clerk. So I guess is that a Mr. Gay question or is that a?
So, Mr.
Madam
Mayor,
Commissioner?
I've submitted immediately following the board workshop, where the presentation was made. I have submitted that request to both the manager's office and the city attorney's office to draft the ordinances, for the revisions to, the board, ordinances for each of the boards that were discussed at that, workshop. I'm not sure what the intended date is to bring those back, but perhaps management or the city attorney's office can address that.
All right, we don't have to guess it now. Just let us know. Let us know. So in the interim, do we need to appoint? Well, I have no appointments. Do you have somebody that's trying to get on the board, Madam Clerk?
I don't have any pending
right.
board
Then
applications.
we can move on.
Mr. Mayor, it's individual appointments or are you at large appointments or commission appointed?
At large.
Okay, so we just can submit that name or that person can contact you if they're our appointment.
Yes, and we'll
Okay.
reach out to them.
All right, no
Okay,
problem. Thank you.
But is it urgent? That's what it's not urgent. So there's no, okay. It's not urgent. All right. Then
Oh, it's not urgent?
it's not urgent. That's not, because you made the announcement, I thought it was urgent.
I do apologize, Mr. Mayor. I was under the impression that it was urgent to appoint members to that board, but if Mr. Gay is saying no, then we can wait until the amendment to the ordinance. So we're good.
All right. All right. All right. It's 8:08. So I feel the need to I think we should sing a song and hold hands because we get out. It's too early.
Move it.
Madam Manager said we ain't gotta go, but we gotta get out of here. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I gave it.
Move.
Oh, second.
Not you trying to leave. Move by Vice Mayor, second by Commissioner Irvin. Is this meeting adjourned? But it doesn't adjourn until we hit this meeting is adjourned.